Hello, thank you for joining us at the Pup Farm. Today I'm going to be making a very powerful soup. Here are the ingredients, some of them. Anyway, I'm going to try to talk really fast to be respectful of your time. And these ingredients aren't the only ingredients that may go into it, but this is where I'm going to start. I have to do an opening and explain some things to you, just in case you don't know. If you remember in my last video, I told you that salt and fat are the two ways to make things taste good. It's kind of one of the reasons French fries are so good. People like them because they do both. They give you the fat and lots of salt. I'm talking about takeout French fries. So anyway, this is the main ones. And the reason this is important to know about salt is because I'm making chicken soup. And this is what I make for my wife when she's sick, or for myself. We save it in the freezer sometimes so because I don't feel like cooking when I'm sick. But when she's sick, I bring it to her. But she's hardly ever sick because I cook like we do. But one of the things that's an enemy of sickness is salt. Salt is a disinfectant. Salt is a preservative. Salt helps your body neurons to fire. It's great for your electrical. But look, salt is really powerful, and I think people underestimate it and try to scare everyone off with the whole, oh my God, high blood pressure. You know what? If you have it and you can't eat salt, then I'm sorry. But for the rest of us, salt is really a powerful tool. And the reason I tell you that is because you're going to see lots and lots of different salt that I'm going to put in this. Also, these spices right here, these are some seed. Seed is really strong. Seed is packed with protein and a lot of nutrients in such a small package. But the problem with seeds is they're gritty. Nobody wants to chew on seeds, even if you soak them in a soup. So they're going to go into the grinder. Everything you see here is stuff my wife can't stand, but she likes the flavor in the soup. So all of this is going in a grinder. The main reason I'm making this is because these mushrooms, this huge box of mushrooms I bought, they probably got a day or two left before they start getting slimy. And I always put mushrooms in just about all my soups and my stir fries and just about everything. I try to add a little bit of mushroom. Like I said in the last video, and I'll say it many times, they say it helps with breast cancer. And I don't want my wife to get that. And my grandmother had it. And you know what? If it helps to eat some mushrooms, it's not a problem for me to put some in here. And normally I don't put this many, but this is going to be the feature. We're not going to add chicken today because I'm going to make a base. Oh, believe it or not, this is going to be the base. When I add the chicken later, I'll usually add a chicken, hominy, white hominy or yellow, but yellow if you want sweeter. And then lima beans. But again, this is for my wife who likes those things. She doesn't mind the texture, so I'm not going to grind those up. Water chestnuts, also another one. Speaking of which, this little package, if you're like, oh, that's a lot of ingredients, I don't want to do all that. Well, they have this blend here, and this gives you broccoli, carrots, and chestnuts already in it. Chestnuts are awesome for a soup. I don't like to grind them, but because there's broccoli in it, I'm going to have to grind all of that. And the carrots. Oh yeah, definitely the carrots. So I can put a can of chestnuts in it later if I want, but I'm just saying that this is an easier alternative. I love frozen vegetables because they pretty much still have all their nutrients in them. I'm not going to say that they've cooked them out of the canned stuff. I'm not against canned foods because our country wouldn't be where it is today without canning. But I would choose frozen. I'm choosing peas. Peas are super high in protein. People discount peas, but they don't really taste that great. Peas aren't just something that people just want to, eat all the time. But again, all this is going to be blended into the base. So you're going to get all the flavor without the slimy pea that people don't like. And I'm showing you this can because These are, I keep stuff in frozen and canned form, just in case. You know, it's great to have, both are great ways to preserve. Your freezer can go out. You can have power outages for a while with the storms or with any kind of situation, emergencies. I still have a can, a version of everything. But I usually cook from the frozen, and I keep the can as it'll sit it'll sit there for years. So you don't have to worry about it. But anyway, we're going to get about salt. And of course, we're going to start with chicken stock too, so don't forget about that. Oh, in this little packet, in case you don't know what it is, believe it or not, this is a ramen packet. I didn't have chicken flavor. This is from beef. It doesn't say, it just says soup base. I think pretty much, I haven't noticed a difference really. I would rather use a chicken flavor because it still has that really, you know, that salty, chickeny flavor. But beef is good. It has a lot of spices in it. It's really powerful for a small packet, and it's a cheap way to add some seasoning to your stuff if you have ramen. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, we have the kitchen crew joining us. Got to take some time to show us Gigi. And of course, Cassie is always in the kitchen. If I started a kitchen channel, I would call it Cassie in the Kitchen. She lives in the kitchen. She hangs out in the kitchen. She hangs out under the oven, under the stove. She hangs out everywhere. All right, in the kitchen, I mean. So here's the container. We always got to start with a food processor. If you don't have a way to process this, then I don't know how much help this video is going to be. Okay, so in the intro, I skipped a bunch of stuff, of course, and I'll just try to make up as I go along. I'm not a professional video maker, so, you know, but I can cook. My wife hasn't been sick in years. Even when we had the C word back 4 years ago, or 5, almost 6, 2020, 2021, we weren't sick but a few days. I think she had it a week. I had it 3 days. I think a varied diet is really important. And anyway, but I'm not grinding these mushrooms up. You can, but it makes kind of a porridge, a mushroom porridge, and it's weird, but the opposite happens. These others, I'm going to blend the texture out of them, but with mushrooms, you actually make a mush. And so you want these to be hard when you fry them, when you boil them, you want these to be firm, or else you'll end up with a mush. So I'm going to add these straight to the pot, just like they are. Okay, so I'll put some broccoli in here. Broccoli doesn't have a lot of protein, but it has a lot of other antioxidants and vitamins that you need. I'm going to add these seeds. This is chia seed and hemp seed. Now, when you cook with seeds, be really careful. They can overpower a dish. Remember, they're small. I mean, it was just two tablespoons of each, one of hemp and one of chia seed. They're super strong, and you want them to be blended, and you don't want to use too many. Broccoli takes up a lot of space in my grinder, and I don't want to. Remember, we talked about in my last video about using liquid. So I'm going to grind up all the hemp and the chia. I'm going to put the seasoning in because I have a lot of air space in there, but I don't have room for other vegetables. And what I don't want to do is make a bunch of pores with I don't want to make a bunch of pores with too many cups, because then I'll overflow my crock pot again. So we're managing. So 1 spoon full of chicken bouillon. This is powdered bouillon. Sometimes I use the cube. You can use any bouillon. It doesn't matter. But just, watch it. You can make it too salty, I guess, but I think most people really like salt. So I'm only going to fill about halfway. Again, I'm trying to manage my water because I still have to get these radish, peas, carrots, onions, and oh, you know what? I'm going to use this opportunity to put, I didn't tell you about this. This is cilantro that I grew. And this is the flowers. It's starting to go to seed, and it had a bunch of flowers on it. It was really nice looking. So we're going to put the cilantro in there. Cilantro makes everything taste clean. I can't explain it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a clean, refreshing taste when you add cilantro. I'm talking about real cilantro. You know, I don't know if there's such a thing as fake, so I don't know why I said real. But what I mean is fresh and strong. Like you can smell it from here where I'm standing behind the phone, the camera, and I can smell the cilantro that came out of that bag. So I'm going to grind it up. So all the ingredients that you saw a while ago are now in here. And I ground it up pretty good, probably 30 seconds or so. You just want to make sure it's all liquid and there's no chunks in there. Also remember, and I think I'm going to have to repeat myself in pretty much every video because I doubt everybody has time to watch all that. But as you heat it, say you have a little bit of chunkiness. See that grit there? Which I will get later when I add some more stuff. As it heats it, it's going to soften up your vegetables. So that little bit of grit's going to get softened too. So like I said, the objective for me anyway, cooking this, you don't have to go to this kind of trouble if you like the chunkiness of some of these vegetables. But again, I cook for a person who can't stand vegetables in most forms, so I liquefy them. And that's the object of this game. Well, we're going to build an incredible base for a chicken soup that I'm going to make later. Okay, so here's some peas and carrots and that blend, that Normandy blend, halfway with broth, the chicken stock. Carrots are kind of difficult. You'll see. You might have to run them 2 or 3 times. Depends on how small you cut your carrots in the first place. You save yourself a lot of trouble by cutting them really small. And here's what we got in the pot so far. Mostly mushrooms. Typically I don't cook with that many mushrooms, but like I said, I had to get rid of or to use them up. Use them or lose them. So, and here it is, finished product. I don't know if you've noticed, but when I make chicken soup, when I picture chicken soup, I picture kind of something that's white, something that's clean. So I don't use beets. I'm not using any tomatoes. When I make a chicken soup, I want something that's kind of refreshing and makes you feel like you're being healed. So I'm using a lot of white vegetables, a little bit of carrot, but it's not going to change the color that much. Just try to think white and clean, like water. Now it'll be a slight green because I've added a lot of green to this one. But like I said, I'm going to use white hominy, put some lima beans and chicken in there when I got the base finished. So I'm cutting up some radishes right now, and I think it's worth noting a couple things. One, you got to chop up radishes. Any of these hard vegetables, you got to chop them up smaller. But one thing that I didn't mention, there's no way I'm going to tell you everything in one video, but I'll do my best. By grinding vegetables up, it's really forgiving. So these radish, here's a radish. It's perfectly okay, but look how it's changing color a bit. No one's going to put that on their salad. No one's going to want to eat that. There's nothing wrong. It's just discolored. They were starting to dry out. But when I cut these up and grind them into you get all the benefits of a plain radish, but you don't have to be concerned about throwing stuff away. And kind of not a big fan of wasting food. Even if I am going to compost it, I still don't like to waste it. And since we're talking about radishes, Alexa, what's the nutrient content of radishes?
CareerSask.ca. Radishes are high in vitamins A, C, K, B6, folate, pantothenic acid, and fiber.
So as you heard, if you could hear that, I'm not sure. I won't know till post video. But vitamin C is a big one. Vitamin C is good for healing. Everybody pretty much knows that vitamin C is the go-to for healing. Also has vitamin B, which is interesting. I think it's interesting because I like to get vitamin B anywhere I can to get some energy. When you reach a certain point, you get tired all the time. You reach a certain point in your life. It looks like my kitchen crew is starting to grow. So hopefully you know these guys' names by now. I only have like a zillion videos about them, so you can meet each one. And of course Cassie's still in the kitchen. She changes spots, but she's still in the kitchen. And here's what we got in the pot so far. Okay, so a few more things I'm going to add in no particular order. That the volumes of vegetables are really up to you. You can do a lot less. But just remember, a lot of vegetables are mostly water. They have water, vitamins, and of course fiber. Lots of fiber. But I didn't mention it. We're going to cook the soup base on low. I leave it on low for 6 to 12 hours. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to... That's one of the great things about cooking soup and soup bases. I mean, especially in a crock pot, you just about can't mess it up. You can cook it forever. You're not going to overcook it. You could waterlog the chicken a bit, and it'll just become softer and softer as you cook it. But I'm not cooking the chicken in it, so not really concerned about that. And then last, we'll have to face this onion. Now, if I were a person that balanced out elements, this is carrots and radish. Look how this color is almost a pink. It's going to bring that back. It's going to bring it back to the white that I'm trying to get. But I always love how colorful my soups are and stews. But once it gets blended, it won't be so colorful. Now here's the onion. Onion is really good in a lot of things. I think both my wife and I have an allergy to it, a small one. But it really does enhance the flavor. Also, because I have 6 dogs, onion is poisonous. It's toxic. Better word is probably toxic to dogs. I don't know how fast it'll kill them, but it'll definitely damage their kidneys. So I'm super careful and scared every single time I cut an onion. I can't let one piece fall on the floor because, and by the way, I chose a yellow. Yellow or a white would have worked here, but yellow's like half the price. This is the cheapest onion, and honestly, I don't know any reason why you would choose another color. Purple's nice for looks, and it's also very expensive. This is the cheapest onion. It's like 50 cents for this big old onion. And we're only going to use not even half of it. But anyway, did I mention that if a piece falls on the ground, these guys are like pit vipers. They're like rattlesnakes. They snap up anything before I can get to the ground and stop them. I mean, I've had to kick a dog before in a kind way, out of the way, to grab food before they got it, because it's like, no, you can't eat that, you know. So, I mean, look at them. Look how hungry and ravenous these beasts are. Especially that little one. Look at her. She's so ravenous. I've never kicked her. I've had to, this one you have to fight. but it's for their own good. It's for them. I have to kick them away. Get back, I say. I need like a taming whip, but I doubt it would work, Cassie. If she sees food, a direct line between her and food, nothing will get in between her. And of course, Gigi, she's skittish. You can just shout and she'll run. She's easily. And then Lily, way back there. Let's go see Lily. I mean, let's face it, Pup Farm's all about the pups, isn't it? Mostly. And here's Lily. She's just sleeping. And of course, everybody knows where Dee Dee's going to be. Is this going to be a big surprise to anyone? Lazy Bones Dee Dee. Some of you might think, hey, that dog is because she's old. That's why she's tired and in bed all the time. Nope. She's been a bed bug her whole life. I can't ever think of a time where she was a bouncy bee. Not really. Maybe when she was like 1. After that, she likes to rest. She spends all her time resting. So, anyway, let's get this onion cut up. I don't make any money off these videos. The reason I tell you that is because I'm telling you I want to build up to the part where I don't... When I'm endorsing stuff, if you see the titles, brands, whatever, I'm not selling anything. I mean, I'll let you know if I do otherwise. But you have to have these sealable containers. I mean, just for leftovers, but for just about anything, they really save your food. They might be a little expensive. I don't know what your budget's like, but you have to have these with the rubber seal. I mean, God, my food lasts forever now and it gives you a lot of time to get to it. You can either pay for wasted food or you can buy really nice sealable containers. And of course, that's going in the fridge. It's got these locking things on the side. And so as I was saying about cutting onions, they're neat that everyone knows an onion's already got a bunch of slices and you only have to cut it a little bit to dice it, but I got to be super careful of pieces. Oh, and of course I didn't mention it, but we're going to add some more if we need to, some more moisture, some liquid. I can go ahead and add water, but I don't want to dilute the soup too much. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, remember I'm putting all my spices in here because it doesn't hurt anything. They'll get an extra grind. A lot of spices will, they'll soften up or they'll disappear in the soup, but some won't. And so, just to be on the safe side, so garlic. Again, very strong, very powerful, a lot of healing benefits, but dangerous. Garlic and onions is pretty much in everything. Oh, time for a pause. You girls gonna keep that up? Yep. Okay, so a little bit quiet now. I guess I was saving you guys from a lecture. But I think it's important to know this. People maybe not think about it. Garlic and onions is in everything. I mean, it's already in this chicken stock. It's in just about everything. One of the reasons you can't feed your dog table scraps is because it's in everything. And garlic is also damaging to their liver. So, and I'm going to use this for zest. Remember, I'm getting a lot of flavor from the ramen packet already. It's kind of a cheap way of spicing. Well, the humidity here is incredible, so yeah. Okay, plan B. Anyway, this just adds a little zest to it. I honestly don't know what it's made of. It's super good on chicken. This thing, when I put it on chicken, I put it on taco salad. Anything that I make, it's a Mexican dish. We eat a lot of Mexican dishes here. We eat a lot of that type of food. And this made me a star, right? I went from zero to hero overnight with just this spice. And I'm back. So this is the onions and the last of the radish and the last of the stock. So we're out of stock. And here's the pot still. So I'm going to add some water to this just to get all the remnants out. Makes it easier to clean. And I don't like wasting. And if you notice, the pot's really only halfway full. So I'm going to add some more moisture to it. You can always add more water later. If I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to freeze it. If I freeze it, you can always add water when you add the blocks. I'm definitely going to put it in 2 batches because I'm only cooking for 2. But what I'm trying to tell you is don't add a lot of extra water if you don't have to, if you're planning on freezing it. And there we go. Look at that bubble. See if I can show that. It's almost fizzing with the chemical reaction of all the flavors and the salt and the vegetables. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a vitamin that provides all that. Like I said, my wife claims that this soup, my chicken soup, will heal people. Plus it's good. So whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I do know it's true that we like it. So I will stir it from time to time, but mostly because it's fun. I don't know that you need to stir it more than a couple times. Honestly, you could basically put it here and then go about your day in the house, doing housework or whatever. Watching shorts on your phone. This has got hours to cook. But like I said, I come and stir it because it's fun, just to also eyeball it. The great thing about a crock pot too, I used to know a guy at the station, he would cook beans, but he almost set the station on fire. Isn't that funny? Believe it or not, it happens at fire stations more than you think. But he didn't put enough water in his beans, and he cooked all the water out, and smoke was everywhere. The beans they get dried out, and they want to catch on fire when they become a charred mess. But a crock pot keeps the moisture in. I've cooked for, oh my God, I've left a crock pot on and on warm afterwards for as long as a day and a half, serving food out of it. Munching all night, snacks. The point is that you don't have to worry about moisture loss in a crock pot. And this particular one I use, it has this handle and this hinge that holds it in place. Because before they didn't have hinges, and it was annoying because you had to set the top down somewhere. And I can just open it, close it, and it's got a rubber seal. So yeah, all the moisture stays in. I could check on this in 8 hours if I wanted, and there's not going to be any moisture loss. Also, you can do this if you want or not, but just sometimes I go through and remember what I need. But one way to find out is to take a sample. And remember, I can eat this raw because it's all basically vegetables. There's no meat in here or anything that I can't eat raw. Oh my God. That is really good. We're supposed to have hamburgers tonight, but I think I think I'm moving the chicken soup to the top of the list. I got to go thaw out some chicken. Until next time. Wow, this video was a lot shorter than I thought it would end up. I hope I added everything. And you know what? You can always ask me in the comments, like, hey, you never finished your sentence. I do that a lot. Or you didn't tell me this. It's Like, okay, you know, I don't mind answering questions and comments. So till next time.